Have you thought about my offer to rule this kingdom with me?
Oh, that offer. That could go wrong in so many possible ways.
I can save him.
I'm pretty sure I could save him too. What breed of sea serpent was that?
Say the magic words.
Nope, no dying. He will be fine. If this happens again, will I be able to say no? I need not to feel this way. I need to leave.
What is inside of you?
Photonus, don't let things that are locked up out.
It's certainly better than crying all the time.
So, you're lucky that you can. Not everyone always gets that luxury.
Yes, someone important to me.
Wouldn't your daughter be safer if he's not around? And if you can actually be a mother to her rather than being a slave?
There is crevice that's really deep. I'm gonna call it the rift.
Guessing this place called King's Crossing has a bridge?
Yes, there are 2 bridges as well as actual landmass that do touch. About 5 meters wide.
Is there anyone guarding the place?
Yes, King's guards, mostly dwarves. I'm going to let her be between you and Scar.
Oh, so she's walking, okay. Well, the King's guards look very dirty, like she's almost died several times. Say, good afternoon, gentlemen. We were just attacked by bandits. It's a long story. May we have permission to enter the city? This young boy here has an exam that he needs to get to.
The guard nods at you, but looks very suspiciously at Scar. And he is rubbing something against his back, probably rubbing something off from his hand.
She tells the guard, we went through a great deal, implying that their current appearance is due to what they went through.
He looks at the little girl. He asks, "May I have your permission to examine this child?"
Of course, she was also attacked, and I saw her and had to help her.
He goes down on one knee, tries to grab her hand.
She doesn't really like being touched.
"I'm sorry, ma'am, but I need to see her wrist." She hides behind you.
Why do you need to see her wrist?
The Karda cubs, they are children who are loyal to Togel, the warlord.
Koebel's the one who attacked us.
"I believe you, ma'am, but we have orders."
Okay.
"Boy, come over here, please." Scar tries to play it cool, holds out the back of his wrist. The paint is all smudged. "I like to paint myself. Sorry about that."
He's very creative.
"Yeah, you want to see what I can draw?" He starts to draw on the ground glyph of paralysis. There's another guard on the other end of the bridge.
Do I know if either of them have the markings on their wrist?
We don't know.
She's very busy not dying.
She is fighting him, but he sees a painted marking on her. It's not permanent, but it's still very clear and very fresh.
Koebel did try to kill her.
"We have reason to believe that Togel brainwashes the children that he captures."
This kid is certainly not brainwashed. I can tell you that much.
I'm
And
sorry.
I can tell you something about this girl that would be very, very important to the king.
"What is that?"
She whispers, his granddaughter.
He lets go of her hand, stands up. "Do you have proof of that, ma'am?"
You know Prince Dryston?
"Yes." He stands up straighter.
Remember he had a relationship with a elven woman
He frowns.
in the saloon.
"I don't recall, ma'am."
There was a sea serpent attacked. He nearly died from sea serpent's poison.
No matter what you say, he has blank look in his eyes. He may be one of the guards who have been in Kersey all his life. He would know even less than the king.
Perhaps you should just escort us somewhere we can get facts checked.
So they take you into the city, night and day, from anything you've seen so far, except saloon.
That might be a little bit biased on Lisa's part. She talks to Scar along the way and goes, I can see why you wanted to take an exam here. This place is beautiful.
Wow, this is the first real city I've seen outside of Anar.
Make sure you see plenty more awesome cities.
He keeps stealing stuff along the way. You have been here before, once, with Dryston to the royal ball.
Yeah.
There are some new decorations in the city. Right now, the banners say bravery, honor, love all over the city, like some kind of event or festival. And there are people from other regions. They are dressed differently from the locals, some with saloon-style clothing. The family crest of the Orlays on some of their outfit. They look rich, high class.
Izzy still keeps her head down just in case any of them might recognize her.
They won't pay attention to you because you look like a mess.
Yay! Bonus. Central Guard garrison.
When you walk into the office, there's a blonde-haired woman with a red hood. She does not have magic. Would you have known the personal secretary of the king?
They may have passed each other, but they probably didn't sit down, have a cup of tea, chat.
She turns around and sees you.
Hey, Meredith.
That's Miss Secretary to you.
Sorry, Miss Secretary. Been through a lot.
She looks at you more closely, trying to recall who you are, but you manage to pass off as someone else, at least for the moment. The guard then proceeds to tell Meredith everything that you have told him, and your claim that the young girl might be Dryston's daughter.
She has the eyes.
Meredith kneels down to look at the girl, who is struggling fiercely.
Jayna, please.
She hears her name for the first time from you,
Yeah.
and she looks up at you, stops fighting.
I'm sorry. Trying to keep you safe.
Yes, the resemblance is clear. I want to know the full story. She stands up.
Which full story?
How did you come to know?
Oh, well, I walked into the warlord's camp because he's been attacking a town staying in. Hooray, you see. I think he just sent an army that way, actually. Then, me and Scar got attacked by the warlord. He managed to escape. Although, Scar did get hit in the head, so I think he's a little bit iffy in the details. Yeah, then we escaped the city through some secret tunnels, we grabbed some food on the way out, and made our way to go see Scar had an exam, and seeing young lady's resemblance to Dryston and the king, I thought it'd be best to mention that.
What kind of coincidence is this? You feel so familiar with the prince that you will call him by his name only. You know the story of his past relationship, and you remember his facial features enough to recognize it in a young child. Tell me, how did you come to know him so intimately?
Intimately? The prince is a pretty relaxed guy. He likes hanging out with commoners. I met him once or twice at saloon.
And you have such a good memory.
Great memory. Great memory for faces. I recognize you.
Her suspicion of you only grew, but something you said seems to concern her more. She walks to the other side of the office, speaks to a guard quietly. You can only hear the word Hurry being mentioned once or twice. Scar is pulling out the fruit that he stole from the market and chowing.
Good score, Scar.
He throws you a tangerine.
Ah, thank you. Jayna, you want these?
She shakes her head.
Don't like tangerines?
She hides under a table.
Drops down. You're from Trent, right? So jungly, there was mountains nearby. That's where you were born? You might have been raised at an orphanage. Its name was Safe Haven.
She starts to have tears in her eyes.
Did something bad happen? It was meant to be safe.
She still won't say anything. Scar perks up as if trying to say something, but then may have forgotten what he wanted to say.
You got hit in the head, remember? Oh, wait, remember that. It really messes with your head when you get hit.
Oh, my siblings. They told me to watch her and told her that if she makes a sound, they're gonna kill her mother. Oh, that's why she's not talking.
Ah. So, I think I met your mother. She's Konari, right? Your adopted mother?
She looks you dead in the eye.
Yanni, right? Had like a little band brace? She really wanted to make sure that you're safe. I promised her that I would make sure you were safe.
She starts to cry. Mommy. She holds her mouth.
They won't know if you speak now. They can't hurt you here, and they can't hurt your mother here either. She told me herself that Tolga wanted her alive. She'll probably be okay. Mother couldn't be more proud of you. You're being very brave.
She just keeps crying. Scar gives her some tangerine. Come on, eat something.
I'm really sorry, Jayna. I definitely thought you'd be safe. Do you ever wonder who your birth parents were? I know them quite well. Izzy will sit down and go, your mother and father loved you very much. Though you do have other parents who are related to you by blood, not by bond. They didn't raise you because they couldn't. In order to keep you safe and keep you alive, they had to give you to a loving family who would look after you. they could have raised you, they would have done it themselves. But then you would never met Yanni, who was clearly good to you, since you're so determined to keep her safe.
How is Izzy feeling?
She's basically quite calm, wants Jayna to feel better.
No regret.
No regret. She actually feels a bit relieved that she had at least one person who really loved her and cared for her. She's definitely feeling a bit better about everything, actually.
Meredith finishes her discussion with the guard, returns to her administrator's desk, starts to write something on parchment. What's next for you?
Me? Make sure Jayna's safe, check up on friends at Hooray, and also save Yanni.
She looks up when you say Yanni. What?
Oh, she's the adopted mother of Jayna here. That big warlord guy was threatening Yanni with Jayna.
She stands up.
Not very nice guy, this.
She frowns. You're not sure if she's angry at you, the warlord, or something else entirely.
What's wrong, Meredith? I don't get to call you Meredith. I'm not going to call you Miss Secretary. It's not really something I do.
What do you want, girl? Reward?
No. I want her to be safe and happy.
Why?
Why do you think? Have a few guesses.
She tells the guard to take Scar away. And then she says that we need to see the king.
Yay! Can I clean up first?
No. Now.
The king's gonna be annoyed I'm dirty.
That won't be the first thing to annoy him.
What's gonna happen to Jayna?
I will let the king decide. She grabs the girl against her will.
Please don't grab her like that. She doesn't like it. You can talk to her and ask her. It's not like it's a life or death situation right now.
Meredith picks up Jayna, this time gentler, but still with the force of an authoritative figure. And Meredith said, she certainly takes after her grandmother.
Stubborn?
No, touch-averse. Her daughter has a bit of that too. And she starts to lead the way out of the building.
No, this place has changed a little over the years since last I've been here.
We're undergoing massive renovation.
Izzy's just gonna hook her thumbs into her belt and just walk behind, thinking to herself, it's gonna be interesting to see the look on the king's face. Maybe a little bit funny.
There are people dressed in similar type of uniforms walking past. Some kind of event might be on the horizon. Jayna is perched on Meredith's shoulder, looking back at you.
Izzy waves and smiles. Big place, isn't it? Huh, Jayna? You don't have to talk back. You can just nod, shake your head if you disagree.
She looks around and then she nods. Jayna grabs at the red hood. Meredith gently but firmly brings her small hand back down to her side.
Oh, come on, let the kid have some fun. Gosh.
When you let the kids have fun, this is what happens.
No, it's not. This is what happens when you don't let the kid have fun. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about what's this big festival thing that's going on. Looks very interesting. Honor, love.
We are going to host the Bravery Games here in Kersey. The rest of the world are invited to join us.
Ambitious.
City of Kersey has an outer wall and an inner wall. Between the two walls are farmland, man-made grassy terrain so that they can grow stuff in the middle of the desert. But the area of Kersey has a lot of freshwater reserves compared to Central Province. So they are able to do more irrigation to keep their grasslands viable. Within the inner wall, there is an artificially elevated hill, and on the hill is the palace castle. So it overlooks the entire capital city.
Let's just get this over with. I'm guessing Meredith's figured out who Izzy is by now.
Yeah, the comment she was saying about letting kids have fun was directed at you and Tristan.
Izzy can't do that.
She's going to talk to the king first with just Jayna, so you are kept outside.
Dust herself off. So, not every day we get to meet royalty.
The guards are like the British palace guards. They don't look at you, they don't talk, they don't do anything.
Night pirates. They're more fun.
Outside the glass windows, you can see courtyards being refitted for sporting events such as javelin throwing. There are a lot of tracks for horse racing. Many horse trainers are busy at work. After 20 minutes or so, King Talroc of Kersey comes bursting out of the door of his study.
My lord?
Ishild Felan!
Hi, you recognize me. Hey, look on the bright side, look on the bright side.
He stumps toward you.
She stands still. He deserves to stomp, releasing some stress.
He walks up very close to you, gives you a big bear hug.
What? You're a bit to punch me and call me names and hate me.
That reminds me. He punches you hard in the lower jaw, but then his anger subsides immediately.
Really deserve that.
And you can tell him I did that. Come inside. There is much to discuss.
Oh, okay. It's a little bit less stabby than I thought it would be.
King Talroc does not tell Meredith to leave. Sometimes they slip and refer to each other by name. You think they might be childhood friends to have earned them such privilege with each other.
I try and whisper to the king. Jayna doesn't know exactly who I am. She had adopted mother, that's who she knows.
Ishild, I think it's too late for that. She was in the room when we were talking about you. And who knows what else you have already told her.
Yeah, she's 5. She might not picked it up.
Come now. How long can you keep it a secret from her?
Monster.
After you follow the king into his study, he closes the door behind you. You see that Jayna is still in the room. She's sitting quietly under a table along the wall.
It's clearly making everyone feel so much better.
Let's get to the bottom of this, Ishild. No more hiding.
Hiding. Yeah, I like hiding. Well, she kind of looks like Jayna is like, oh, well, that's an inheritance. She had plenty of chances to run, but she can't just leave her again. That would probably hurt more. Well, I met some guy in the desert who said to save Yanni. He died. And I think he might have been the girl's adopted father. I don't know how to tell her. Then I met Yanni at the warlord's camp. She said to look after her daughter, to protect her, that everything she's doing is to try and save her. And I agreed to go save her. Start taking on the warlord who's attacking Korea. I mentioned that she might be your granddaughter because probably is. And so she doesn't get hurt. The safety is paramount.
I will have to ask you some other time how you use magic to make people forget things. But here is my question. Why was Jayna adopted?
Have you're an educated man, right? Have you heard of the spirit Vertimus?
His eyes grow wide. Vertimus? So the warden was right then. It's not a myth. He stumps over to the door, opens it, and calls out to his guards. Summon the wardens. Get Warden Taren. Talroc shuts the door again and turns back to you. So that's why you give up my grandchild?
Yes. I've lived my entire life trying to stop Vertimus from hurting people. To varying degrees of success, but I ensured that no harm would ever come from Vertimus to Drysten or Jayna. I left as soon as it came to issue.
Talroc circles the room, muttering to himself. Meredith looks extremely unhappy. You may just ruin everything.
I did not agree to being host body to Vertimus. That was actually my childhood friend who was chosen. She was taken in the middle of the night, and she was scared, so I followed her. I ended up getting possessed. Nothing to do about being a mage. It's more of just being about in the wrong place, wrong time, and caring about people.
Meredith stands up, says, Yanni Duson is the leader of the Freeman Champions. They are a group of rebels against the king. Now what do you propose we do about her?
Well, Yanni is certainly against the warlord. I get an alliance from her by saying you deal with that guy.
My thoughts, exactly.
We're on the same page. This is awesome.
The king kind of picks up on what she's implying, and he starts arguing with her.
What's wrong with taking out a warlord who's really very evil?
Meredith rolls her eyes, either at the king or at you, for not being able to see the complexity of the issue at hand. And she pulls him out of the room to say something to him without the rest of you hearing.
Sean looks underneath the table and goes, Sorry, Jayna, I don't know how much of it you heard and understood, but didn't really want you to find out all this information this way. Kind of thought it'd be, better done. I don't really get to talk to people about this stuff very often. This time, not regretting as much, considering that Yanni seems to be a wonderful person, you seem to be a wonderful person. Probably wouldn't have turned out as well if I kept you. I'm sorry I had to leave you behind, but you know how much your mother loves you. Yanni loves you. Love you about the same amount. Like Yanni, I'll do anything to protect you, even if it means I don't get to be in your life. And she kind of sighs as she sits down.
Am I going to be alone again?
Told the king about you, because literally the only thing I could think of to make sure you'd be okay, won't have to be alone unless you want to be.
The bad people. They killed Mommy's friends.
I know. I had to keep promise to your mother first. So I have to go a bit more roundabout way of making sure the bad people don't have anyone to hurt.
She leans her head against you.
Izzy kind of smiles at that and just sits there, looking down at her.
An ancient elven man walks into the room. The color of his eyes is faded. So is the color of his warden uniform.
He is one of the wardens who did not stay for the ritual.
I remember you. I liked you. Just want to say, you were right.
Behind him, in walks another person with warden symbols on their outfit. This is a Canary woman. She looks like Frost.
Hey, you look like Frost. Do you have any sons or something, or brothers, by any chance? Because I certainly saw someone who looks a lot like you. I think he's half elven, possibly slave to magisters.
She is totally shocked.
She did not react to the name Frost, but as you elaborate further, she realizes who you're referring to.
So you do know him. Great. He's in Horia.
She looks toward the older warden, who makes a calming gesture. He says to her, "Wait, Semena. We need to gather more information before we act on them." The elven warden approaches you, then kneels down. His eyes start to glow, just like Nakara's did back in the Blackstone estate. But unlike that night, you are unable to feel his ethereal presence inside your spirit harbor, and you cannot see anything of his. All of a sudden, you feel that you're seeing this warden through someone else's eyes. In this point of view, the elderly elven man is arguing with a group of wardens all around you. The place seems to be the town of Felan before the tragedy. This elderly man says, "This is madness. Have we become so desperate that we all turn children into spirit cages?" You speak through someone else's voice. "Their lives are not more important than anyone else's." Another elven man says, "Father, we all have a part to play in life. This is their duty." The elderly man looks upset. "Duty? Do they even know what that means?" You respond, "Wardens don't get to make easy choices, Father. I refuse to take part in this any further. Harvel, Vassa, will you come home?" Slowly, you can see tears streaming down his face.
He's saying, "Vassa, Harvel, my children, release them."
Yeah, that doesn't work.
And you start to hear very quiet sobbing in the seal.
Not focus on the crying, just let him work through that. How is this woman now just met related to Frost?
"My name is Inan Taren. My son and daughter are trapped forever."
So are my parents.
"Let them go."
I don't know how to do that. I'm not the one who put them there. It was the wardens who did that.
"Then I will take them."
Well, if you know how to do that, do that.
He grabs your head.
Just make sure Jayna's safe. The girl.
He lets go. He looks at the little girl sitting next to you.
It's very important to me as well.
"She is yours, isn't she? I'm glad that none of Vertumnus is in her. Her spirit harbor is empty." His eyes stop glowing, and he falls silent for a while.
I'll stick around. So, long time no see. What have you been up to? You've seen the seal. You know how to be jolly.
The Canary woman now approaches as well. She kneels down next to Inan.
Wow, everyone's just having a sitting down party. I don't even have to get up. So, how do you know Frost? Did he always have nice magic? Was always that thing, or was that like new? It was tranquil for a while, right?
Is my Yalta going by Frost now?
Yalta? We'll not laugh at that name. What if Yalta? No. that is not appropriate at this situation. Yes, he does go by Frost. Don't know the specific details of that. No, he used to be tranquil, now he's not. Has nightmares. Oh, and also I think the Magisterium guy was trying to kill him. I haven't met any more assassins lately, so I think we're good. I need to focus on this rather than something bad.
Jayna takes a peek at the Canary Woman. She says, "You look like Mommy."
And the woman thinks for a bit about how to answer her.
Faces her and faces away from Jayna and goes,
She nods. Yes, my dear.
Izzy gives her a thumbs up.
And Jayna says,
"Are you going to be my third mommy?"
Wait,
Hearing the words mommy being said to her twice now, the Canary Woman named Semena is starting to lose her calm.
Seeing that she's kind of like breaking down, it's like, his mother, I'm guessing.
trying to hold it together and just stands up and leaves the room.
Jayna, I don't think she's going to be your new mummy. She has a few problems that she needs to deal with at the moment. Maybe just stick to your current mummies.
She looks at you and asks, "Are you going to leave?"
I'm not going to leave unless you want me to.
She gets up and walks around the room.
Izzy stands up and looks at the warden. Yay, reunions. They're all happening all over the place. You get to unite with kids, she gets to unite with the kids, I get to unite with my kid. Everything's going quite well. So, when you want to take back the sphere to the children?
I was going to transfer Vertumnus into Semena, but now she may have second thoughts.
Well, that's probably for the best. Despair and sadness and regret and all those little emotions don't exactly work well. Tends to exploit that. I'm an expert.
I want them back. I'm willing to take their place.
Would they want that?
I don't care.
I don't know how Seal works. I just know what makes it weaker and know what makes it stronger, and how Vertimus works.
Inan becomes frustrated, stands up and leaves the room.
Talk again later. I'm going to see if there's any good books around here.
King Talroc storms back into the room, comes up very close to you, looks up and asks, "So, when are you going to get married to my son Dryston?"
Wait, what?